You're now watching Colorado State University's student-run campus television, Channel 25, weeknights from 8 to midnight.
Good evening. Welcome to Sportsfest. I'm Melissa Rogers alongside Skip Stewart. We've got a lot of show to get through, so let's get right to it. Skip, the men's basketball team had an important home game this weekend.
Yeah, that's right, Melissa, and unfortunately for the Rams, things didn't exactly go their way. The Utah Utes came to town on Valentine's Day, but it wasn't expected to be a friendly date. Utah is in the hunt for the conference championship and has won 3 straight coming into Moby. Needless to say, they didn't show the Rams much love. Matt Nelson out. CSU would fill his absence since the Utes play 2 6'10" kids. One of them there is Australian freshman Andrew Bogout. Nice shot, mate. Nick Jacobs in for 3. Yes! Utah would go on a 12-1 lead. Sophomore Tim Drisden getting in on it. Snap. Drisden would score 24 points. That's a career high. Freshman Dwight Boatner would lead the Rams back into this. You know, he's turning into quite the diaper dandy, averaging 10.5 points the last 5 games. That's more than anybody else on the team. And here's a pretty play. John Rikeski, he puts his thing down, flips it, and reverses it. Yeah, that's right. And right before halftime, clock winding down, Morse with the fadeaway and one. The Rams would be down 8 at halftime, but every time the Rams got close, though, Utah would strike right back. Second half, case in point. Eminem, we love you, Michael, because you are good for the Rams. He makes a foul shot. Rams within 5, but next play, Jacobson would get fouled on a 3-pointer and sinks it. 4-point play, Utah back up 9, just like that, and CSU loses by 10. 80-70, the final. Dwight Boatner led the Rams in scoring again with 16 points and 2 steals. Micah Morris had 15 points and 6 assists in the loss.
Dig in defensively and not get down by so much at such an early point in the game, because trying to fight back just takes a lot out of you. You got to get the head start. You got to make the first punch.
We didn't play that bad. We just got to come out and play hard, and we can't get down in the beginning like we did, because I mean, against these teams, they're good teams, they're well coached. It's kind of hard to come back once you're down by like 11 points in the first 5-6 minutes.
The Rams tumbled to 3-6 in conference play after that game, and that's good enough for 7th place right now. Ouch. But they are just above Wyoming. That's a little moral victory. Air Force continues to fly, get it? Yeah, they are atop the conference, but they do play at Utah and BYU this weekend. Those should be exciting games. CSU heads to UNLV and SDSU. So the top of the league will play each other this week, and the middle and bottoms do so as well. The standings could look very different next week, so tune in next week to see all the changes, won't you? Well, 15 years ago, Rick Majerus left Ball State to become the head coach at Utah, where he's become one of the winningest coaches in NCAA history since he took over the Utes in 1989. Utah's owned the 8th best win percentage in the NCAA, and Majerus was 5th among all Division I active coaches in win percentage as well. But it appears his time as head coach has ended at the age of 55 due to ongoing health problems. Melissa Rogers has more.
When Rick Majerus left the Utah men's basketball team on January 28th because of heart problems, there was still hope that he would return to coach the Utes this season. However, last week, Majerus announced that his 15-year association with the university was officially over and that he would never return to coaching again. At Utah, Majerus put the Utes on the national map, coaching them to 10 conference titles and 10 NCAA tournament berths during his reign. Losing such an integral part of their program, the people left behind have to now find a way to move on.
He's just one of the best coaches that's ever been around, and we miss his practice sessions and his preparation, but everyone has stepped up now and we've kind of moved on from that.
Coaching duties now fall on assistant coach Kerry Rupp. Rupp hopes to fill the huge void left by the legendary coach.
It was a great opportunity for myself and our staff, and it's really a great opportunity for our team because where he's brought us, the success he's had, he kind of has got us to this point.
The Utes aren't the only thing that are going to miss Majerus' national recognition. Since the inception of the Mountain West 5 years ago, Majerus has been the face associated with the league.
He gives our entire league instant credibility, right away, and plus he's such a great personality. He's great for the game of basketball just in general. I think our conference loses a lot, our team loses a lot, but I just think the game of basketball is really hurting that he's not around.
So far, the Utes have been successful without their leader, going 4-0 in his absence, and are looking to win at least a share of the conference title for the 4th time in the league's 5 years. The effect of Majerus' absence on the Mountain West, however, has yet to be seen. Melissa Rogers, CTV Sports.
Majerus is currently recovering in Santa Barbara, California. Many speculate Majerus will join ESPN to become a basketball commentator.
With Utah in town, that also means that their traveling partner, the BYU Cougars, are also coming to Moby. The Cougars are looking to sweep their Front Range road trip for the second consecutive season with a win against the Rams tonight. Last year at Moby, CSU had lost a hard-fought game to BYU 70-63 in overtime. This year at the Marriott Center in Provo, the game wasn't nearly as close. BYU blew out Colorado State 82-53. The Rams were without Michael Morris and mostly without Matt Nelson in that game. Tonight, however, Morris will play and Nelson is still doubtful for the matchup. It's Rafael Araujo and the Cougars against the possibly Matt Nelson-less Rams at Moby Arena. 10 p.m. start. Get there and be on ESPN's Big Monday. Should be a great game tonight, and a win would really help the Rams' confidence going into UNLV and San Diego State this weekend.
Yeah, and hopefully not only have the Rams will get their confidence back for the road trip, but let's also hope Matt Nelson gets healthy and gets back there on the court. It seems like we're talking about that every week, every show, so far this year. Well, coming up next, the women's basketball team was looking to get their first road win. We'll tell you if they did.
And the Colorado Eagles returned home after a 4-game road trip against the Amarillo Gorillas. All the highlights from Budweiser Event Center when we return.
Colorado State University, Melissa Rogers, Skip Stewart. You're watching Campus Television Sportsfest.
The women's basketball team headed to Utah over the weekend in search of their first conference road victory of the year, and their first opportunity came against league-leading University of Utah on Thursday. But they couldn't hang with the Utes, losing 71-59. The Rams fall to 12-9. Lindsay Thomas scored 11 and grabbed 7 boards. Joy Jenkins had 13 points and 6 rebounds. Things were a little better Saturday as they did get their first road win of the year against BYU, 72-64. Lindsay Thomas recorded her 4th double-double of the year with 18 points and 10 rebounds. Vanessa Espinoza with 17 points, and Hasai Ferruccio with 2 points. But she was dishing big, 14 assists. The Rams still sit at 4th in the conference with Wyoming, Utah, with Utah yet to lose, actually. UNLV and New Mexico still ahead of the Rams, and poor Air Force not quite having the year the men are having.
In the game against BYU on Saturday, the Rams not only gained their first conference road win, but guard Hasai Ferruccio accomplished something special. And that takes us to this week's Random Ram Fact. Ferruccio dished out 14 assists, in the victory. The question is, what is the school record for most assists in a single game? You have plenty of time to figure it out, as we'll have the answer at the end of the show. The women's team now finds themselves with an opportunity to get revenge against San Diego State and UNLV coming into town this weekend. When the Rams traveled to SDSU and UNLV in January, they suffered 2 very tough losses. San Diego State ended up winning the game 58-55 in the final seconds off a turnover by the Rams, and in Vegas, UNLV won 90-87. However, the Rams have been playing much better lately and winning their last 3 out of their last 4. 3 out of their last 4, that is. Both games at Moby scheduled to start at 7 p.m. First, it's San Diego State on Thursday, and then UNLV on Saturday. The Rams have steadily been climbing the conference ladder, and, anytime you play at home, it's important to get those conference wins.
Right, you want to split on the road, what they say, and that's what they did last weekend. So now if they can pick up 2 more at home this weekend, they should be sitting pretty. And speaking of home, the minor league Colorado Eagles returned home this weekend for a couple of games. Very quickly, let's go to the highlights to the Bud Center. And just how most people envision their engagement next to a 6-foot eagle freezing their you-know-whats on the sheet of ice. Ryan Bach living dangerously with one of his 26 saves, nifty hand-eye coordination. Eagles killing them all game. The outcome was decided at the beginning of the second period. Winger Greg Pankowitz with one of his 5 points on the night, the middle goal of a beautiful hat trick. Fans are happy. They get to watch underage girls dance with little clothing on, much like CU football team. Plus, they get a free Subway after 6 goals. And what minor league hockey games would be complete without a little rabble-rousing? Eagles would add another 3 goals for a final of 9-2. And this week, the Eagles will...
in every area of the game. all week we've been trying to focus a little harder. We knew Amarillo was a good team. They're a physical team, so we knew we had to play a physical game, lots of shots on net. And we came out tough. We have to play physical in our rink.
I think it's a time of year, it's crunch time, and we obviously got to get things together as a team, and there's no better place to do it than in our own rink.
Ad Lim. Yeah, hey, what's going on? This week the Eagles will be in Tulsa to take on the Oilers on Tuesday, and Friday in Memphis to face the River Kings. Well, still to come, we got more scores and stories.
But up next, we put together a special panel of debaters who will showcase their love for each other in what we like to call test time.
Stay tuned.
The Laurie Student Center is the place to be. It's the place for taking care of business and the place to buy and sell textbooks. It's the place for staying connected, student organizations, leadership programs, and more, all right here. It's the place to eat. It's the place for entertainment. There's always something happening at the LSC. Movies, art exhibits, and special performances. Check it out online. The Laurie Student Center is definitely the place to be.
It gets me to class.
It's all about efficiency.
We're going to the mall.
It's my second set of wheels.
Transport, wherever life takes you.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Ramblers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night. Welcome to the Ramblers. I am Travis Huntington.
I'm Tyler Kraus.
I'm Chris Dittmer. A great game this weekend.
Another huge game for the Rams.
Don't forget to tune in to the Ramblers every Tuesday night from 6 to 8 right here on 90.5 KCSU.
Watching Emmy Award-winning campus television, winner of the 2003 Heartland Regional Emmy Award for Outstanding Student Achievement. Welcome back to Sportsfest. Now we're going to head over to CTV Studio B, where Skip Stewart is standing by with a couple of guests. Skip?
Melissa, welcome to Test Time. We've got Sportsfest reporters Zach Borg and Gavin Moberg here. Big day for Zach. First day with a tie. Didn't even know how to tie it. That is great.
Fix that up. Thank you for knowing so much about makeup.
They are here to debate the pressing issues of CSU athletics and the Mountain West Conference. Here's what's going to happen. I've got 3 questions for them. They will each give me a 30-second true-false answer. We're all students here at CSU. We should know how to take this type of test, right? Okay, let's begin. Question 1, can the return of junior center Matt Nelson salvage the Rams season? Gavin, you're first.
Skip, that really is their only hope, and really without them, there is no hope. And so the answer is false. It is too late in the season. One major aspect to be considered is that of team chemistry. The Rams coach Dale Lair has put out at least 11 starting lineups this season, and Nelly has already missed 7 games with his return in limbo. The Rams' offensive woes start with their turnover struggles. They lead the conference in turnovers, averaging 18 a game. They're at the bottom of the barrel in field goal percentage, points per game, and free throw percentage. Surprisingly, the Rams are in the middle of the conference in the offensive rebound category. We've got to believe that they'd be more towards the top in that stat with a healthy 7-foot center. The Rams' only hope for postseason life is with Nelly and going deep into the conference tournament, and I'm talking semis, guys, semifinals.
Okay, so you're saying true, false, true, false?
Oh, I'm saying false.
Okay, false there.
Well, Gavin, if you agree with me more often, you'd come off as smarter, But I'm also going to say false. The goal for this team was not to go 500 for the season. The goal was to make the postseason without using the conference tournament as a crutch. And what's killing the Rams is their defense. CSU is dead last in the league in scoring defense, and that includes the games they've played with Nelson. First half breakdowns killed the Rams at Air Force, and their full court press against Utah on Saturday was exploited all evening. Their best defensive performance of the year came against BYU Hawaii when they gave up 53 points. Not only was that against a D2 team, it was the first game of the year, and they haven't shown much improvement since. If you can't defend in the Mountain West, you can't win, and Matt Nelson alone can't make up for the other 11 guys.
All right, yes, good points all around. Keep in mind, the Rams are 1-5 without Mountain Nelson this year and 10-6 with him. Moving right along, question 2. Are the Air Force Falcons really the best team in the Mountain West? Zach?
Well, I'm going to say false. No, they're not. And I think if you look at them, they've been getting exposed a little bit over the last couple weeks. Teams are getting second looks at Air Force now, and coaches are making adjustments to that slow-down offense. The Falcons are nearly impossible to beat at home, but on the road or a neutral site, I think they lose. The best team in the Mountain West is Utah. Their size up front, combined with their guard play, will be too much for Air Force to stop, and interim coach Kerry Rupp has done a great job in the wake of the Rick Majerus saga. They will beat the Air Force Falcons at the Huntsman Center in Salt Lake on Saturday.
He did ask for the best team, right, Zach? Listen up, son. We're talking about coaches. We're not talking about coaches. We're not talking about backcourts. We're talking about a team, Zach. And Air Force is the best team in the conference. Head coach Joe Scott has brought his militaristic values of teamwork and discipline onto the hardwood. And when you look at the team, their leading scorer is only averaging 16 points a game. Their success is because they are leading the Mountain West in team field goal percentage, and they have the least amount of turnovers in the conference also. Zach, you questioned their play on the road. It's still only 3 losses, guy. They do have 3 more conference road games, but all 3 of those teams have already lost to the Falcons by double digits. Air Force does have a shot at an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament based on record alone. The Utes and Rams' only chance really is to win the conference tournament.
Well, maybe not to win the conference tournament. Utes do probably have a big chance.
Most people do learn something the second time around. I guess our friend Gavin doesn't.
Well, I guess we have a chance to find out on
he's a character
Saturday.
or something?
With a win, Utah could be tied for the conference lead when they host Air Force. Okay, question 3. A local escort service said it has provided strippers to Colorado State as well as CU in the past. Should Colorado State conduct an investigation into their own recruiting practices? Gavin?
No, of course not, Skip. That answer is false. Because why would you want to put your program under unnecessary scrutiny? It makes no sense. Look, I don't care what school you're talking about, and I'm not accusing Colorado State of anything, but if you're a D1 program, you've more than likely violated some NCAA regulations, either knowingly or unknowingly. I think the only way for the NCAA to regulate anything, whether it's recruiting, boosters, or whatever, is to handle it the way they have been, enforcing incredible penalties for those programs that have been proven cheaters. I love college football and college athletics as much as the next guy, but commercialism has become too much of an issue with collegiate athletics. Large and imposing penalties are really the only option. With that said, no program should penalize themselves unless there's evidence of wrongdoing and restrictions are inevitable. Borgie, my friend?
Well, Gavin, I'm sure that's exactly what Gary Barnett was saying a couple months ago at this time. Yes, I think it is true. Colorado State does need to conduct an investigation, but not because I believe there are infractions present. Right now, every team in the NCAA should conduct an internal probe. Gavin, by not keeping a closer eye on their program, CU and Barnett left the door open for scandal, and now it's coming back to bite them. CSU should review their conduct just to be safe and ensure that there aren't any skeletons in the closet. And by the way, CU's problem isn't strippers alone. It's that women are making accusations of rape. CSU has done an excellent job policing themselves, and credit athletic director Mark Driscoll and the department for their integrity.
You know, what if San Diego State took some recruits to the beaches and saw some girls in thongs? Illegal recruiting? Who knows? But I'm not saying what's
just a part of the scenery.
Yeah, aren't we all
There is
human?
no age restriction on those escorts, so I don't. Where's the problem? Really?
That's right. Well, hey, it's been good and fun here, but before we leave, guys, one more question. Give me your answer in a sentence or less. Will the men's basketball team play in a postseason tournament this year?
Zach Attack, step up.
If Matt Nelson returns for the next road trip, I think they will make the NIT. If he does not and he waits till the conference tournament, nope.
I hate to say it, guys, but last year was a fluke. They're not doing anything this year. The only chance they have is a repeat performance of last year.
All right. Well, thank you very much for stopping by. We'll see you guys next week probably. Melissa, back to you in Studio A.
Thanks, guys. Coming up next, we'll tell you how the softball team did at the San Antonio tournament over the weekend. And also, we'll give you an in-depth look at the new and improved Air Force Falcons men's basketball team.
Please and classifieds, how may I help you?
Place it, find it, buy it, sell it, rent it. All this and more with the Rocky Mountain Collegiate Classifieds, as low as $4.50 a day. Call 491-1686, 491-1686.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Work, play, home, away. Millions of people riding every single day.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Monday to the park, Wednesday to the pool. Every other Friday volunteering at the school.
Transport, wherever life takes you.
Campus service officers are the eyes and ears of the CSU Police Department. They provide safe walks to all students and are available 7 days a week. To request a safe walk, pick up an emergency phone on campus, call the Safe Walk line, or simply ask a CSO on duty. CSOs patrol and provide walks from Constitution to Matthews Street and Prospect to Mulberry Street. To be safely escorted to your destination, call 491-1155.
One radio, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Zero commercials.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
90.5 KCSU.
90.5.
This is your student-run radio.
It is your student-run radio station.
On your FM dial. Run by students, for students. It's 90.5 KCSU.
We've all been surprised at the success of the Air Force men's basketball team. The Falcons have led the Mountain West Conference standings since play began and have currently only lost one conference game to UNLV. What got these Falcons where they are? Skip Stewart gives us all the answers.
When Air Force hired Princeton grad and assistant coach Joe Scott to be their head coach in 2000, he inherited a perennial cellar dweller at an academy that can't recruit big men. But not having big men wasn't new to Scott. When he made the move to Colorado Springs, he brought Princeton's classic slow-cutting offense with him, but Air Force still remained in the basement his first 3 years. Now, in his fourth season, Coach Scott has put together a team that has won more games in a season than any other in Air Force history, and they still have at least 7 more games to play. And Coach Scott is the front-runner to win many National Coach of the Year honors.
When we got here, everyone might not have been a strong believer, but, seeing a guy put so much effort in, and seeing his success, everyone kind of had to believe.
Air Force hasn't had a winning season since 1978, and since then, Clune Arena's been lucky to draw 1,000 fans to a game. But now Air Force is 15-3 and atop the Mountain West Conference, and Clune Arena is going crazy.
I mean, we haven't had that, something we always had to go against on the road with other teams, but now we have our own crowd, and it just makes you play that much harder in close games.
When we used to have, 2 guys on each side and three cadets over there, it was pretty tough.
We got an unbelievable student section. We got an unbelievable home crowd, and they really do seem to come through for us, and our guys seem to come through for them.
It's a great arena, great crowd. It's awesome to see Clune Arena be this alive, and it's well-deserved because it's a team that's deserving of great support.
Air Force is expecting to be in the NCAA tournament. The Falcons have only been to the Big Dance twice, and the last time they were invited was 42 years ago, before Coach Scott was even born. But now, not only has the number in the win column risen, so has all the players' confidence.
We really start to internalize that as long as we're patient and make people play Air Force basketball, and not getting the run and gun game up and down, taking quick shots, we can beat anybody in the country as long as we play our game. And I think we're starting to realize that, and as long as we stay with our stuff, we'll be all right.
Air Force heads to Utah this weekend to take on the Utes, who were favored to win the Mountain West. Utah trails Air Force by 1 game in the conference standings. Quite surprising when you consider the Falcons, who were picked to finish last. Skip Stewart, CTV Sports.
Air Force's big game with Utah on Saturday is at the Hudson Center in New Salt Lake. The Utes trail the Falcons by 1 game in the standings.
Well, the Rams softball team headed south to Texas over the weekend to take part in the University of Texas San Antonio tournament this weekend. I already said that. Hey, where they took part in 5 games, though. First game, they lost to the Kansas Jayhawks 4-2, then bounced back to defeat Texas Arlington. That was all on Saturday. On Sunday, they beat the University of Missouri at Kansas City. They lost their second game that day 4-2. That one went to extra innings. Finally, on Sunday, they beat Bethune-Cookman 10-6. And up next, they will play in the Troy Cox Classic in Las Cruces, New Mexico this weekend. Well, every year we do a little fantasy football pool. In the winter that we send, on budget over to Hawaii. And that was Chris Dittmer this year. So he was there for the Pro Bowl. Okay, actually we didn't send him there. He went on his own. But here's a look at what he came back with.
We're here at the 2004 Pro Bowl here at Aloha Stadium. So let's go in and check it out. My time here is done. Time to enjoy the game.
And here's Aloha Stadium.
Aloha.
Parking for 10,000, it seats 50.
Yeah, that was smart.
Had to go over to Treasure Island or wherever we were, some island.
Aloha Stadium, well, camp's will soon out there. They got a pretty good parking setup here before we meet the blue button. Jeff Babcock, extra point. Oh. Yep, that's pretty accurate. So much.
Just really being around the guys and being around the quality of really good players in the National Football League, and you're actually playing with the best guys. Being able to catch a pass from Peyton Manning and Steve McMahon, obviously Trent Green, and work with Jamal Anderson and Clinton Portis. It's been a blessing, So it's I've enjoyed it every since we got off the plane.
Good to be Chris Dittmer. Well, the show is just about over, so you know that means it's time for the answer to this week's random Ram fact. And since we asked the question so long ago, I'll show it to you again. The women's game against BYU on Saturday, Cy Ferruccio dished out 14 assists. The question is, what is the school record for assists in a single game? The answer, 15, set by Didi Dominguez in 1994. For the men, 12 is the record, held by both Rudy Carey and Ryan Yoder. Well, that's going to do it for this show. Go check out the men's game tonight, ESPN's Big Monday, 10 p.m., Moby Arena.
If we all didn't stutter, we'd be paid and professional.
Exactly.
So you guys got to let us suck for a little bit, okay?
We'll get there.
Be sure to watch Sportsfest next week, and we'll have all the highlights from the women's home games this weekend. For Melissa Rogers, I'm Skip Stewart, and go Rams.
News, sports, and entertainment, you're watching Campus Television, Channel 25, weeknights from 8 to midnight.